Well, ladies and gentlemen, you wanted to know something about my humor. Well, let me tell you a little story. I can remember I had received a telegraph message from General McClellan from Antietam, and he had told me there was over 19,000 casualties in one day. And how did the soldiers cope with that? And I thought about that, and later I sent him a telegraph message back, and I said, General, I am going to be arriving in your camp, and I gave him the date and approximate time, and I said, please have my horse ready and available. And I went to Antietam, arriving there, and all of the soldiers, thousands and thousands and thousands of them, were all lined up ready for inspection and review. And so I wasn't really expecting this, and I went through and talked to many of them, because some of them I knew. They're from the Army of the Potomac, where they'd trained and camped in Washington, D.C. for so long. And so it was there that all of a sudden my horse is coming down the way. And I thought, wow, the general is doing something that I asked him to do for a change. And so as that horse came up, I put a leg up over the horse, and all of a sudden, in the loudest voice you ever heard, this one soldier said, "Look, that horse has 6 legs." And all of the laughter of the troops broke out, and instantly. And yes, in fact, that horse had 6 legs, because when I put my leg up over the saddle, both of my feet were still on the ground. That horse was a small little Shetland pony that was still between my legs. And so the boys had played one of the greatest jokes I've ever accompanied. But yes, it's a way for them to handle the tragedies, the death, the horribleness of a war, and it's their way to have some humor. They played a joke on the President of the United States.
Could you tell that other horse story about the lady you met in the woods?
The lady on the woods? Oh yes, I remember that. I was in Springfield, coming back to Springfield, I should say, from the countryside. And as I am going down the pathway, I look up ahead, and there's a horse coming in the opposite direction. And so as I come to a small clearing, I pull my horse over into that clearing to allow the other horsemen to go on and unimpeded. And as I'm watching that horse, all of a sudden I realize that's a lady on the horse. And as she gets right in front of me, she stops her horse. She looks up at me, and she says, "My, you're about the ugliest man I've ever seen." And I said, "Well, ma'am," I said, "there's nothing I can do about it." She looked back and she says, "No, I suppose not, but at least you could have stayed at home." So just a little bit of Lincoln's humor.
Right, wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming to La Quinta.
You're very welcome.
And
Thank
congratulations on your 200th birthday.
Thank you.
You look very good for 200.
Well, a special way, you see. I stay young because of assassination. You just never get any older.
Okay, I'll leave you on that happy note.